That's a disgusting amount.
Year, as they were apparently pathologically hell-bent on...
I remember back when this was like coming out, everyone said the same shit, and I agreed with them. The only way Quibi would ever survive is if they had like cheaper content. So like... The dumpster fire failure of... Oh, Quibi. Is that what it was called? Oh, hold on. I vaguely remember that. Quibi. We didn't watch this, did we? I don't think so. We watched the HQ Trivia downfall. I vaguely remember this. This was that short video service that wanted to, like, almost compete with YouTube, but they just had a bunch of celebrities make garbage, and then it died 6 months later, right? I remember watching HQ Trivia. This had an interesting story. I just don't remember this at all.
With everything that's going on at the moment, the world can feel like an exhausting place.
He's a prime.
So for today's video, I'm just gonna chill the F out and see what's on my new favourite streaming service. Quibi!
Quibi. Only on Quibi.
Quibi is quick bites.
Quibi is an app.
What is Quibi and why should anyone in this room or anywhere care?
Quibi is a brand new subscription-based streaming service that's mobile only. And I know that sounds but don't worry, because it's actually going to be really good. Because it's basically exactly the same as HBO.
And it's not dissimilar to what HBO did in the 1990s.
Our ambition is to do what HBO did in terms of narrative, storytelling.
If you're wondering who the Quibi this is, it's Jeffrey Katzenberg, Hollywood corporate royalty and emperor
I don't know who that is.
Turtle people. He was the producer behind some of Disney's greatest hits, my personal favourite animated film ever. But what makes Quibi different? Well, first of all, and most importantly, Quibi was going to have celebrity stars and Hollywood budgets.
I remember that.
Making all that cheapo, user-generated content on the internet look like the garbage that it really was. As good as it was inevitably going to be, Quibi still had a tough fight ahead of it. After all, it was entering a saturated marketplace.
You know, we would say to you that what we're setting out to do falls somewhere between improbable and impossible.
Turns out it was.
This happens to be our home address.
That's right, on Quibi you could watch stuff long ways and the right way. Wow! But wait, there's more!
Beautiful full-screen images like you've never seen before.
Full screen? Oh, wowee! I thought Cyberpunk had been delayed. The future is here, people. Quibi
this is pretty impressive.
The whole goddamn
I can't believe it failed.
They had convinced all these big boys to invest in them. With the unlimited power granted to them by Hollywood and Silicon Valley's greatest investors, Quibi launched with an insanely expensive marketing campaign. They went bananas.
Yeah! I do remember these.
Even paid for a Super Bowl spot.
Are these still up? I remember them being like really goofy. Do these still exist, I wonder? Let's do their most viewed one, the most dangerous game. Oh. Man, that took some balls. They closed this channel, which had easily like, what, 150 million views from just like their top videos here? Like, good God. Oh no, definitely more than that. They probably had close to like 200 mil. They just said, fuck it. They could have rode the AdSense on this for a minute. It was there? Where? 74? Well, this is a re-upload. I wanted to see the official. This has 74 million views. No, like, I see the content is still here. I wanted to see the channel. I mean, we can still watch it. I don't remember it being like, this one in particular being horrible or anything. I just remember a few of them being super goofy.
You gotta lose this guy.
Who is it?
Doesn't matter, he'll kill both of us. Promise me something.
Yeah.
No, follow me.
He's a tier 1 Jeffy.
Think you can help me somehow?
I do, but I can't do it alone. I make possible man's innate desire to be challenged in a highly intense sport, hunting.
You want them to hunt me? Like paintball?
A hunt to kill.
It's a 24-hour game. Deposits increase every hour you survive for a grand total of
$24.5 million.
Just you on your own.
Trust no one, stay paranoid.
When does it start?
It just did.
Wow, Quibi! Did that ever come out? Can I watch Most Dangerous Game on a re-upload of Quibi somewhere? That didn't even look like terrible. That was definitely one of the better ones I saw for Quibi. It did. Oh, it actually did come out.
Greg, where are you? I'll be there at Quibi. What?
With most of these ads focused on teaching people what the hell a Quibi was anyway.
You're dangerously low on air.
Relax, Commander. We've got at least a Quibi left.
Wynn's here. Hey, Sojourn. Bye-bye.
This is the shit I remember.
They're going to die. But with Quibi's mind-boggling array of celebrity-packed content, it's easy to understand why they'd want to. A Quibi then is about 5 to 10 minutes, which is perfect because I'm about to go take a Quibi now. One of Quibi's biggest shows is Most Dangerous Game.
Yay! We just watched that.
Hemsworth as a down-on-his-luck property developer called Dodge Tynes.
Dodge Tynes.
This is exactly what makes Quibi so goddamn essential. It's this kind of ham-fisted symbolism that only Hollywood can do right. Dodge's life is falling apart, you see. He's got a kid on the way.
I kinda wanna watch
bills
this.
To pay. He's in a tight spot. So the only logical thing for him to do is agree to be hunted for sport by everyone's favourite Nazi.
Every hour you survive, more money is being wired into your bank account. And that continues.
The ending of LA Noire was kind of underwhelming.
The stereotypical stock psychopaths who've paid for the opportunity to hunt and kill this A-list celebrity's sibling.
Liam Hemsworth isn't really A-list.
They needed to offer people
what has he been in?
As an incentive to join. They began by offering Quibi for free for 3 months. After that, it would be just $5 per month.
Oh, sibling. I didn't hear him say sibling.
Ads.
Oh, I didn't even hear the sibling part.
For that. And despite this, they managed to get over 900,000 people to sign up in the first 3 days of the app's launch, which was not bad, but it was far less than Katzenberg and co. had hoped for. After the free trial ended, though, only about 72,000 subscribers decided that the content they were getting was worth paying for. And despite their commercials being everywhere, it seemed like people just weren't talking about Quibi. Which was a shame, because they were missing out on some high-quality short-form content.
I'm having like a nervous breakdown. My boyfriend's sex doll is talking to me. But I have news for you, babe. We're all sex dolls until we topple the patriarchy.
That's great, you're a feminist sex doll.
This is Dummy, starring Anna Kendrick and a
looks like a banger
succubus with a thing for underage boys.
Who is that? He's like 14. So, I'm 7.
Cody soon befriends the terrifying sex doll.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Out they have more in common besides the person who makes sex.
Thanks to read some splits in comment.
Oh, Barbara. You know, you call yourself a feminist, but you hate other women.
What? No, I love other women.
And if you think this looks like a shallow failure but confuses grossness for genuine boldness, you're wrong, because it's actually really progressive.
You ready to do this? What? My pussy. I've got like years worth of Dan's pole milk congealed up in there.
Okay.
Because this
yeah,
is exactly
we like sex
want,
dolls.
to have their general values repeated back to them by a lifeless imitation of a human being.
You are the shitty feminist. I hear you doing all types of like rape role play, you twisted little bitch.
Okay.
In quick bite chapters on the go.
These boomers saw all those kids who wouldn't get off their gosh darn phones and decided to make content for them. Of course,
and it worked.
The app was launched in
they
April,
had 10 users.
The commute had been like totally cancelled, meaning that perhaps COVID-19's greatest victim of all was Quibi. At least that's what Katzenberg wanted the New York Times to believe when they brought up the app's painfully small and inactive user base.
At least he had a good scapegoat, I guess.
Coincidence that literally every other streaming service had seen enormous growth during this period. Quibi initially intended to spend $470 million
That's a
on advertising
disgusting amount.
Year, as they were apparently pathologically hell-bent on...
I remember back when this was like coming out, everyone said the same shit, and I agreed with them. The only way Quibi would ever survive is if they had, like, cheaper content. So, like, people that already made internet content, they're like, you should probably just have, like, YouTubers make shit for it. It'd be cheaper and at least give you a fighting chance for it to be sustainable. And they really just stuck to their guns over, nope, we need Anna Kendrick in a sex doll. And it worked. I mean, they did pretty well, right? Like, they lasted, how long? Let me get the entire lifespan of Quibi. I think it was 6 months from launch to close. Launched April 6th, closed December 1st. Damn. So yeah, they had a good fucking run, baby. They went the distance. So I mean, they knew what they were doing. Jeffrey Katzenberg, he's a genius. He's a visionary. Yeah, they did a whole Quibi. Yeah. Or Quibi. What were they calling it in the commercials already? I'm pretty sure they just said Quibi back, right? I think the saddest part about it isn't like the outrageous disaster and failure of Quibi, but it's that even though it was like a historic flop, it still didn't garner enough attention for anyone to really know or care. This thing had $2 billion in funding before ever launching, closed in 6 months, and nobody cared even with that. It was such a useless wet fart that not even a historic flop was enough to get people to care about it. Wild.
Just 4 months after it launched, it was pretty clear that Katzenberg and co. had Quibi'd all in their pants. They persisted in comparing their subscription model to services like Netflix and Disney+.
But it was better.
This was a complete misunderstanding of the market that they were actually entering. Their real competition was free, shareable, and you know, good. Well, most of it. And this has always been Hollywood's biggest failure. Their total, blinding inability to know the difference between something that's good and something that's expensive. But that wasn't going to be the case with Quibi, because everything on there was gold. Stuff like barkitecture.
This four-legged sidekick needs his own food digs. We need something to represent his humble ruse and his Hollywood lifestyle.
That's right.
I bet that slapped.
You can watch Hollywood weirdos who are so out of touch with reality that they see nothing tasteless about building bedroom-sized puppy palaces in their back garden.
That's unbelievable! The dogs will love it. Oh man! Who wants some rosé?
If you didn't like that, how about Murder House Flip?
As if I give some strafe.
Bog-standard property makeover show that also promises to satisfy your insatiable true crime bloodlust.
This man killed his wife right here where my husband is sitting.
Alright, wow. That's aggressive.
What happened here?
The absolute must-watch episode is the one where they refurb the bathroom where a husband had chopped up his wife into little bits.
You take a shower where he dismembered her.
But maybe you're looking for something that has the gravitas and star power that only Quibi can provide. In that case, I actually recommend Sam Raimi's 50 States of
Sam Raimi?
The show aimed to tell 50 spooktacular stories loosely adapting local urban legends from all 50 American states. All in all, they released 2, Michigan and Florida. And the idea of a creator-driven horror anthology actually sounded pretty fresh, especially the first couple of times someone suggested it. In the first episode, we follow a lumberjack and his vain, jewelry-obsessed wife who gets caught in a tree-related accident.
Oh no. No! Oh fuck!
Oh god! How's she gonna watch Quibi now? Oh. Luckily, her husband has a side hustle making revolutionary robo-prosthetics.
Bro, I need to watch this. What was this one called? This was 50 States of Fright, right? This seems amazing. Hold on. I've got to find like a re-upload of this somewhere. Holy shit. Surely this exists somewhere online. No fucking way Quibi just erased it. Yeah. It's on Roku. I'm gonna have to fucking watch that. This seems like an amazing disaster of a movie.
Can you make it out of gold?
Are you serious?
Just half a Quibi later, she's got a fancy new C-3PO arm, but it does lead to some issues.
As long as your body keeps absorbing the gold through your skin, there's very little I can do. You've got to take off that prosthetic.
No, I can't take off my golden arm. When I die, bury me with my golden arm.
She croaks, but because he's gone into all kinds of debt building his
Rest in peace, Queen
arm,
Midas.
he has to engage in some good old-fashioned spousal grave robbing. At this point, it turns into a standard avenging ghost story, and dare I say it, it actually gets kind of good? It's obviously dopey, but it's self-aware enough to be enjoyable, and it's genuinely scary at points. It's officially my favourite show on Quibi.
I've got to fucking watch this, man. This seems like a great disaster.
Story was not enough to save the ailing streaming service. It only took 30,000 Quibis before the company completely collapsed on the 21st of October. Katzenberg announced that Quibi would quit in an all-hands video call to all 250 of the company's employees. He announced that everyone would be paid severance and that they should listen to Get Back Up Again from the Trolls soundtrack to lift their spirits as they cleared out their desks.
Okay.
Goodbye, Quibi. You were like a candle in the wind, with us not for a long time or a good time, but a time nonetheless. Stay hydrated and don't let the bastards grind you down.
I need to watch some of this Quibi shit, man. I had no idea they even got anything out.
Like, all that stuff. That'd be great. I'd really like that. Oh, full screen? Wowee! I thought Cyberpunk had been delayed.
Yeah, man. Imagine if we just had Quibi! Fuck! No. Oh, this. Fuck. This is 30 minutes. Let me just get the cliff notes first to see if it's interesting.
क्या इंटरनेट रियल है? क्या इंटरनेट पर चल रही चीजें रियल है? क्या आप रियल हो? Dead internet theory क्या है?
Unlucky. Alright. This one it is.
Today I want to talk about something called the dead internet theory. A disturbing and unsettling yet entirely plausible theory that gives me that awful sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach.
I'm ready.
The kind of feeling you get when you know someone is lying to your face. The kind of feeling you get when you connect two formerly unconnected points in your mind, and their newfound connection gives you chills because you didn't want to believe it, but the truth is too obvious to ignore now. So let's get right into the dead internet theory. Most of the internet is fake.
No!
This theory is a collection of a lot of ideas from many people. But credit must be given to Illuminati Pirate for bringing together so much of this information into a single thread. I'm going to discuss a lot of what he says, as well as pull a ton of information from a variety of sources and comments from all over the web. The simple explanation for the dead internet theory is that the vast majority of the internet is actually generated by artificial intelligence, in conjunction with paid media
I don't believe that.
in order to manufacture consumers for an increasingly wider range of newly normalized products, as well as to dramatically sway public opinion and control the collective attitude or outlook of people or culture.
That's just like a well-known thing. What? That's not even a theory, though. What? I'm so confused. It was so hyped up, like, this changed my worldview. I can't even look at my mom the same anymore. This was a game changer. If this is like the whole crux of it, like, yeah, who doesn't know that? Like, most of the content you see is literally, like, by an algorithm. If I scroll down here, all of this from an algorithm. Twitter, promoting things to you, algorithm. Influencers, constantly paid to promote things to you. Like, everyone knows this. This isn't like some kind of crackpot, tinfoil hat, world-changing theory. Like, everyone should already know this.
For all of the younger people out there who didn't experience the internet as it used to be, the internet of today is vastly different. Before the advent of the internet-connected cell phone, or the mass adoption of the home computer, before social media even existed, the internet was a place where people came to express passion, hobbies, feelings, and thoughts.
It was wild.
A website or an app for hours and hours every single day. The internet was whatever you made it. One doesn't realize that they're living
It still is, though. You can still find all of that shit. I can still go to Goatsy right now.
That the freedom of expression of the old internet
it still exists. It's just not the mainstream on the internet anymore.
But here we are. Only now, in its awful absence, do we realize how bad things have gotten. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, see, or read. There are no experiences anymore. It's a collection of 10 or so websites.
What is happening? What? What? Bro, I just watched a Reddit mod go on Fox News and completely derail a movement of a 1.6 million other people. Like, it is more rife with wacky and wild shit now than ever. What is he talking about? If you want to say, like, the main like, you mainly visit the same websites, yeah, absolutely. 100%. You mainly visit Twitter, Reddit, YouTube. I guess maybe, like, the porn sites would fall in there. Those are, like, under the most viewed and shit. Yeah, I mean, that's true. You mainly go there, but it's not because there's nothing elsewhere. It's just that happens to be where most people go to get their shit, and that shit is still full of not super safe, bland content. It's just not as popular as the safe, bland content. It's not like it's just gone. And saying that you no longer see people on the internet is one of the most outrageous things I've ever heard. I wish I could see less people on the internet. Every time I open Twitter, I'm reminded of how many fucking weird, dumb assholes are out there. Just today, I read about how Sea-Dog posted a tweet saying, Demon Slayer's budget must have been financed by Jeff Bezos because it looks so good, and thousands of weird, somehow sentient human beings dogpiled him for it because they labeled him as misleading and lying about an obvious joke that Jeff Bezos financed Demon Slayer. Like, it's crazy. Like, I only ever see people on the internet. It's like a bunch of weirdos. I don't know what he's talking about. This is crazy.
Because there's nothing inside. The same repeated threads and pictures and similar replies reposted over and over again.
It's an AI, not a person. It's the dumbest AI of all time.
All of your friends enjoying the same funny video as you. The same talking point shared repeatedly over and over online. Or how every day something new is trending, so you better jump in and give your take on it. Why get out there and march in the streets to demand better wages or safer working conditions after a grueling day of work, when you can go home and saturate your mind on endless, mindless escapism?
But people do.
Happening tonight, and Jimmy Kimmel just said something that is hilarious, and Dr. Seuss books are changing. Aren't you mad? And have you seen the new Marvel trailer? Don't step back. Don't stop to think. Keep engaged. Keep scrolling. Keep buying. Keep wasting your time. Keep pointlessly arguing with bots online made to offend you to spark unending engagement.
Finally, something real.
Do you like superheroes?
That's real.
How about Hollywood drama? New music? The algorithm is here to feed you an endless supply of content based on what it assumes you want. How music is the same bland, seemingly created in a lab song over and over
Because that's what sells the most.
There's a reason for all of this.
Yes, money.
Algorithms and computer programs have been manufacturing content now for at least a decade that we know of. You can't make it real anymore. An interesting detail that Illuminati Pirate brought up was anime, and I'm going to include manga as well, and why it's so popular and beloved today. The reason why is because it is such a complex and passion-driven art form. More often than not, the art and story in manga are all created by one person on a weekly basis. There are actual humans behind this content, and because of that, it's so much more enjoyable than so much of the generic computer-created nonsense that is shoved in our faces today. Something intuitively inside of us recognizes that. So side note, watch a really good anime if you haven't. You'll know right off the bat how different...
I am having such a hard time wrapping my head around this. Manga is like the worst example you can give for your point. So much of manga is the same recycled content over and over. The 80% of manga is a middle schooler, 15 years old, superpower, outcast, lonely, hikikomori. Like, it's all following the same format. This is literally the antithesis of the point you're trying to make. What are you talking about? They literally recycle the same content, no different than Marvel you were just talking about. Of course, there's exceptions, like Jujutsu Kaisen's great, even though I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most unique thing ever. It's just really well done. And there's Berserk, totally different, super unique. But just like in Marvel and everything, there's other superheroes that aren't the same formulaic shit too. Like, this doesn't go with his point at all. He just likes manga, so it's exempt.
But let's go deeper into the internet side of things. Let's talk about YouTube. For the younger people watching this, YouTube used to honestly be about expressing yourself. It was random people in front of a camera talking about how they felt or what they've experienced.
This is wild.
It was real, it was organic, it wasn't about trends.
Requital.
Nowadays, if you talk about the wrong thing, your video gets demonetized. If you say the wrong thing, your video gets removed. You can speak freely as long as you're okay with being suppressed in the algorithm and no one sees your content. You go with the way the wind is blowing. But if you stand in the face of that wind, you'll be standing there alone with 20 views. And this is not me complaining. These are objective facts. Look at almost any channel you subscribe to and take a look at their views. Individuals are being pushed away in favor of corporate news, corporate music, and safe and inoffensive content that makes money.
True. There you go, a real point. True.
Regarding YouTube and other forms of media are deepfakes. Not only can computers and AI replicate faces accurately, but now voices as well. April 15th, 12 years ago off the Sunset Coast of Perth, Australia, a computer network analyst was arrested for stealing one of the most important pieces of insight and information we have today.
Yeah.
All of this stuff. Upon his arrest and 8 hours of interrogation, he refused to disclose where he had gotten this
information. But he wasn't real either. He was a clone.
What information did he steal? Nothing. I just made this entire scenario up.
Damn.
Do you see how easy it could be for an AI or a computer program to write up a plausible article like this?
How is that plausible? You just said, like, normal shit. Anyone can do that. What do you mean? What? What is the point there? Anyone can do that. It's not... I don't even know what he's trying to say. It's no different than a kid getting a bedtime story from their parents that their parents make up. Well, what does that have to do with the internet being dead and everything fake? We can all make up stories. Everyone makes up stories all the time, even off the internet. But what, like, I don't know what that does for his point. What does it do for him? What am I missing with what he's trying to say with that example? Anything is plausible if you set it up. But what is that? It doesn't do anything for his point. Because you can immediately tell what's real and what's fake when you look at the actual world events. Like, you can't just make a claim. I couldn't right now say, in Denver, a school was just lit on fire. It happened 15 minutes ago. You might believe me initially, like right away, like that's believable. It could happen, probably has happened. But you could immediately fact check it. Immediately, and find out that it's false. Like, it doesn't take a deep AI to come up with what he came up with. April 2009, someone stole something important. But he didn't, because I made it up.
Here's another interesting thing you yourself can witness. The internet on your smartphone is not the same as the internet on your PC. Try it out for yourself. Go to any popular website with a lot of traffic and spend a few days randomly checking the same thing from your PC and your smartphone. You'll notice from time to time that what you see on one device is completely different from the other.
I can't imagine why.
Can play out differently. Sometimes you'll see different comments, different like to dislike ratios on comments, all kinds of weird anomalies you'd only notice because you're coming at it from two different places.
It just keeps you on the platform longer. That's the point.
I don't buy that for a second. Because for years
more
and
money.
years, there is a deliberate and more often than not manufactured angle which is going to be pushed towards you to keep you fighting rather than collectively coming together. Let's briefly talk about the recently ended conflict. The fact of the matter is that no matter what time we left that country, it was going to collapse. 10 years ago, today, or 10 years from now. This is a fact. But they don't want that to be a fact. Obviously, the powers that be wanted us to stay there indefinitely because
what is going on now?
There are so many natural resources to pillage, and the money made by defense contractors was so great, we gotta stay there forever. Thankfully, public opinion was against this. People were tired of it and just wanted it to end.
What just happened?
Americans need help over here, not more endless nonsense thousands of miles away. Now, notice how the dynamic shifted when the pullout started. Every major news organization went into overdrive doing everything they could to get back in. Every news channel, every website, every major influencer on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, any person that stood out there saying,
I like how he's talking about the internet that like it's something only the US has.
By an overwhelming majority online saying the opposite.
The internet is America only,
weird,
obviously.
Considering the vast majority of Americans say the exact opposite. For example, look at Reddit. I have joked for years and years that Reddit is a hive mind. Now that this theory is
so is
that
everyone.
joke seems to be a lot less funny and a lot more realistic. Simply based upon a like or dislike ratio, Reddit can push up what it deems correct and push down what it deems incorrect. Then you have bots spamming to derail conversations on subjects they don't want discussed, and dividing and conquering on real issues to break down any progress that could be made.
Yes.
It's a psychological game being played on everyone. You want more upvotes, and to get them, you make sure you say the stuff that's going to get pushed up. Don't rock the boat. Follow the trends, say agreeable things, avoid disagreeable things or challenging topics. The obvious point of Reddit having a point-based system is to make the points go up. This system discourages you from saying things that will make your points go down. You only want your points to go up. Do you see the problem? I'm not even that much of a contrarian, but the first thing that I do when I check out an interesting Reddit thread is to sort by controversial.
I guess I don't.
It feels so much more human.
Everyone,
I want
what
to
is he like revealing?
People with different opinions. Not so much to get mad or to argue with others, but to have my beliefs challenged. I find it ridiculous that I have to dig so deeply to find this kind of stuff. That's why so many places on the internet feel like echo chambers of repeated ideas and thoughts.
The reason things feel like echo chambers isn't because there's a fucking cloning facility somewhere pumping out fake human beings. It's because people like to be agreed with. So they find people that are already in that circle. That's why you have everyone on Twitter in their little bubbles. And when anything like challenges that, they get mad. They block, they lash out. People like to feel like they're part of the same group. So everyone says the same shit. That's how you create the fucking echo chamber. Now, does this help with corporations and money making? Obviously, which is why they play to it. But he's making it seem like it's something so deep and insidious. It's not. It's just literal human nature to not want their ideals challenged. It's more comforting when people agree with them than disagree. So they form groups, they stick together. It's just that simple. And in the case of Reddit, they're up-duding people that think the same way they do and down-duding people they don't like with what they say. And then those people that get down-duded latch on to the other down-duders, and then they have their own little clique and they go to a different subreddit. Like, I don't know what he's trying to get at here.
Accounts on YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, it's all manipulated and distorted. Very little of it is real.
He's a prime
For example, every single time that I upload a video, I lose around 10 subscribers. It's like clockwork.
No.
Doesn't matter what I upload or how popular it is, I lose around 10 subscribers right when I click publish. Amazingly enough, I'm not alone in this. This isn't a single glitch that just happens to me. This happens to most people with a big enough subscriber base, and I'm sure the numbers scale upward. The common prevailing theory is that it's YouTube's sly way of removing regular humans from the equation. If you're big enough and successful enough, you can weather the storm pretty easily.
What?
Losing 10 subs isn't bad when you gain thousands.
Who has that
If you're
theory?
a smaller YouTuber, or a YouTuber they don't really want around anymore, losing subs is an easy and subtle way to mentally break you down and eventually remove you from the equation. The push for corporate content and acceptable content is all that matters. YouTube isn't about you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Change
fair.
the
That's
name
true.
already and call it Content Tube or Corporate Tube. But let's get even deeper.
So what's that?
More
What was that? He thinks...
for stealing-
Oh my god, I accidentally... Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. I accidentally just fucking... Alright, I'll probably just stop the video. I accidentally went so far back. Oh my god, damn it. That's fine. Why did you want me to see this? This did nothing. It literally said things that were... A, ridiculous, or B, we already knew. I don't know what he was going on with. The leading theory is that every time YouTube removes subs, they're removing human beings. That goes against what he was saying, where it's about keeping human beings on the platform to make more money off them. So he's even going against his own grain here. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be. That was an actual nothing burger. The bot part onward seemed interesting. I don't think I got there. I accidentally fucking clicked backwards. He was so almost correct. He said things that were correct. He's not wrong about, like, bots astroturfing on Reddit, but all of those things are well known. I don't know. The way he hyped this thing up is like, it literally changed his whole worldview, and the way, once you peek behind the curtain, you'll never be the same. Nothing's real. It's all fake. It's all fabricated. You're not real. Your parents aren't real. You're not even in the universe. It's a simulation. When all he said was, like, things everyone already knows, or just outrageously off the mark. The most expensive construction mistakes. What is the difference? Alright, maybe that's the point.
Human mistakes are almost inevitable and happen every now and then.
Human mistakes are cringe.
You might think that large construction megaprojects are very carefully thought out. Yet, this is not always the case. Number 5. 20 Fenchurch Street.
Looks like shit.
Taking its name from its address, the 20 Fenchurch Street building is a commercial skyscraper in London. The building was sold to a Hong Kong manufacturing company named...
Looks like a Wobble Fett.
...for around $1.8 billion, which is a record price for a single building in the UK. After its completion in 2014, the skyscraper was not only referred to as a walkie-talkie due to its distinctive shape, but was also named the ugliest new building in Great Britain.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
However, the real problem with the building was elsewhere. At 20 Fenchurch Street, a comparatively not so expensive but unusual mistake was made in the planning process. Similar to many modern skyscrapers, the walkie-talkie has a large glass front that reflects the sunlight. However,
well, it hasn't fallen over, so it's not that bad.
Buildings that usually have straight walls, this led to a problem. During the day, the sun shines on the south side of the building, and unfortunately, this side has a slightly concave curvature. Consequently, the walkie-talkie concentrates the sun rays onto the street and the houses on the opposite street side.
Oh, like a magnifying glass.
This meant that the sun's rays were reflected 6 times stronger than normal. As a result, this generated extreme heat that melted even parked cars and caused cracks on the sidewalks. In a Sky News video, a reporter fried an egg across the street using only the reflected sunlight.
Jim Watterson.
That's pretty cool. They created a little weapon.
Here. I can't even lift it up. It's actually that hot. He's just baked, fried an egg
Vignoli also said that he didn't know it was going to get that hot, and when he first came to London years ago, it wasn't like this. In the end,
why do people
a
hire this guy? His
sunshade was
buildings look
installed,
terrible.
which ultimately
Dude
fixed
sucks.
the problem, costing around $14 million. Pleaded.
What's the fucking point?
Citigroup.
Alright, that's plenty of architecture failures for me. Search Bully Maguire Family Feud. Why are we recommending memes? Sure, man. Ooh. Here we go. Which one? A good old YouTube poop, eh?
Welcome back to the feud, everybody. Hey, everyone. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions in 20 seconds. If you can't think of something, you just say
Stop
pass.
lecturing me, please.
Toby.
All right, come up with 200 points. Look right there. Tell them what you're gonna win.
The staff job. Double the money.
All right, you ready? 20 seconds on the clock, please. If you were a stripper, which superhero's name would you use?
Spider-Man.
Name something that gives you the chills.
My back.
Name an insect that flies.
Little Goblin Jr.
Thanks to
Name
the
something
Bits
in your
Twitch
house
TV.
that creaks.
This damn door!
How many days have you gone without bathing?
3,000.
All right, let's go. Let's see. If you were a stripper, which superhero's name would you use? You said. So they said.
Alright, that was good. I'm not a big meme guy. I don't know why people don't know that yet. I'm not like huge on memes. Inside a $6 million Orlando vacation home. Thanks to Risa Bryce. What makes it so special? This? Jesus Christ, it's got the Toy Story things.
What would it take to find the most insane, most expensive Airbnb in all of Orlando? I think I might have found it. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
Whoa, there's another.
Damn, someone must have really loved Toy Story.
All right, so we're at 501 Muirfield Loop in Reunion. This property is almost 11,000 square feet, 9 bedrooms, 8.5 baths with a theater and game rooms and just, come on inside, take a look, let's go.
So why'd you want me to see this? Just for the Toy Story shit? This looks like a really generic, expensive
Let's start
mansion.
over in the kitchen, come on. So the cool thing I like about this house is that the developer spent a lot of time and money, not only just on the themed rooms we're going to show you later on, but really just throughout the entire
Those chairs look like
house.
shit.
Every single spot is really just like on the highest degree of quality. Everything from the Sub-Zero hidden cabinet finishes on the fridges to the Wolf 6-burner.
That's a
with
rich
the skillets
5-year-old.
and it's just insane in terms
Yeah,
of
this is where
the
Ryan's
little features
toy
that they put
reviews
throughout
lives.
here. Check out this pantry. Walk in, you've got the
Holy
owner's
shit.
closet back here. This is like a whole nother bedroom. Let's look at this living space over here. Plenty of space for everybody that's traveling with you. You've got living space here, and then as well as the other bar on the other side. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, this place is pretty generic.
You guys
Nothing
here at
like
this house, if
super
you bring
interesting
in
about
somebody to help you cater or a bartender at night, I think about the parties that can happen at this house. If you were to purchase this home, it could be pretty cool. So you've got a space here overlooking the amazing golf course.
Show me the Toy Story shit. Oh. It comes with its little own arcade. Oh.
Check
this is
out.
like a laser
You've got
tag
all of these
course.
targets all around the room.
Nice.